YouTube. I'm going to copy the link, put it in my notepad. Okay. And now. Okay. We got it. So do I have any volunteers to moderate the chat today for participation?
I can.
I got it.
Okay, Damian, and who else? Do I have a second person to
Logan.
moderate? Who is it? Oh, Logan? Okay, great. Thank you, Logan. Thank you, Damian. Okay, welcome, folks. I'm just going to do some housekeeping in the beginning. I'm recording, going live to YouTube, and we're ready to start. I welcome you all. We went over the exams last time, and now what are we doing is we're focusing in our projects. Our project is going to take front and center stage. My quest here is for you to be familiar with a number of generative AI apps, and that you'll be able to give some expertise and know those apps well. And I'll go over that as well. We also have a second exam. The second exam will be again in person. Now you know what the exams are like. It will be in the same format. It will be multiple choice, one step. The other part will be open-ended. We will go over the questions, but as I go through the process, you'll even know already, you'll have an idea of what types of questions I will ask. Put in your notes there that it will be on November 18th, Monday, November 18th, Gabriella, right? It will be same time, same type of way. We do not have any classes coming in after us, so we allow a little, for this section, we allow a little bit more time than we need, but I think everybody finished mostly on time on it. It will be November 18th, and then the following week already will be Thanksgiving, and the week after that, that Monday, we'll be presenting as our groups. So we basically have, we can think about it as another month that we need to work on. And this is the greatest thing, that every week we will have milestones that I will check on you and make sure that everybody is on step with the milestones that we're going to be using. Okay? Any questions before we proceed? Okay, I'm going to share my screen, go through a couple of issues here, which I need to do. So let me open up here. We're section J. And if I look at the what's due section, a couple things will change. First, what I will do, put a note here for the adaptive assignment. I will extend the adaptive assignment to the following Monday, which is the 4th of November. So this adaptive assignment will be due on the 4th of November. The Wiley quiz, that should work well, right, Gabriella? Did you try to look into the Wiley, the regular Wiley quiz? It should work.
Yeah, that worked.
Because that's not on the Wiley server. So this is it. The other things, what I've added here, and this can also probably you can look at these additional readings. You can look at these. This could really be from for the following Monday as well. There's additional readings, and let me just do that. But what you can think about, let me go to this right now. Let me go to web links. Everybody go to web links on your page. And if you go down on your, let me make edit mode off so I have the same thing you do. If you go down, you see we've already gone through a lot of these of the automated trading systems, pros and cons, the optimization. Last time we covered was what is cloud computing. You remember this article is by Microsoft, which is their cloud computing is called Azure, Azure. And basically we talked about it last time is what is cloud computing, what are the benefits, what are the types of cloud computing, explain public, private, and hybrid, the types of cloud services, infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and software as a service, and what are the uses of cloud computing. So you can see in that case, Gabriella, this could be a question, right? An open-ended question, and then you could talk about the vendors and how we've used cloud computing in this course and above. And then here it's also Amazon Web Services are the cloud computing we talked about before. Is what is cloud computing? What are some of the examples by industries? You know that this is by Amazon. This was one of the major web services and cloud computing vendors. And Microsoft, this started as number one, and Microsoft has inched closer to that lately. So that is two articles that will help you with the open-ended exams, and the questions will be doing these types of questions. I can tell you right now in the open-ended. The only thing that I usually have you add is based on our assignments and projects, how cloud computing fits in. And I'll discuss that more. The next three articles that are based here is what I want you to also read. One is, what is artificial intelligence? What are the subfields of AI? How is AI applied to business application, and what are the challenges? The next article is machine learning. What is machine learning? What's the difference between machine learning and AI? Which industries are using machine learning? And give 3 examples. And what's the difference between machine learning, deep learning, and data mining? I'll go over this as we'll go through next couple of weeks, but I wanted you to look at that. And the third article is, what is generative AI? Everything you need to know. Generative AI is a type of artificial intelligence technology that can produce various types of content. Find out how it works, why it's a hot commodity. And these are the questions of, how does generative AI work? What are the benefits and limitations? What are the use cases of generative AI? And what are the concerns of generative AI? So what I like about this article, I'll show you. Let me open it up in a new tab. This is an article by a company called SAS. And SAS is software, it's a statistical program that they really started off of helping people do statistics. And of course, artificial intelligence comes in. I like this website because it really covers things that I will cover with you. But basically, what is artificial intelligence? We've heard so much about it, and the idea of deep learning, NLP, we'll hear about that. Gen AI also uses the conversational AI, has it, of natural language processing using the technologies. So in this website, what I like about it, it gives the history. I think it's good to know, but I'm not going to be testing you on it. I'm not going to ask you, you know, what happened in the 1970s, what happened in the 1980s, but it's good to have kind of like an overview of what is AI, that they use what we call neural networks. Basically, think about neural networks as mimicking the brain, that we have a number of neurons in our brains that light up, and in the early work, they basically were like thinking machines. It tried to think, hey, how can we simulate or emulate the brain's thinking? And then in the 80s to 2010s, it became what they called machine learning. That what we did is we gave data to the machine, meaning the computers, and we had the computer learn. And what do we say about learning, Gabriella? Is that in learning, what we do is when we make mistakes, what do we want to do? We want to correct those mistakes, right? We don't want to keep on doing the same thing over and over again. So for instance, think about it. If I give a formula in Excel and it's the wrong formula, the old version of Excel would just say, hey, I'm doing it. You gave the formula, the user gave a formula. I'm just going to keep on doing the same thing over and over again. It's almost like when we did Ninja Trader, when you forgot to connect, Gabriella, to the connection to the data stream, and you got all zeros. Now you would know what? You forgot to connect to the data stream, right? The computer should have learned that software, if it were done as machine learning, should have come back to you and said, Gabriella, the reason you have zeros is because you didn't connect. Do you really want to connect to the data? So that was the idea. And you had what they called supervised learning, meaning I give it the right answers, part of it, and then I basically supervise it and start training it. And then when it starts making mistakes, I know what the correct answer is, and I feed it back to the machine. That's called machine learning. Deep learning was a breakthrough drive in the AI boom that you can think about. Deep learning is like when Google called something DeepMind, it started learning. It went to a deeper level, for instance, in autonomous vehicles. You heard of that, Gabriella, where the car drives for yourself? So you think, you know, it may be something goes in front of your car, right? If a piece of branch goes in front of your car versus a human goes in front of your car versus a baby comes in front of your car, deer goes in front of your car, for computer vision to work, that is not a simple idea. So that became an idea of deep learning. And then really what disrupted it, even though it started long ago, but with ChatGPT, it became universal because it was so easy for end users to use it, is this idea of generative AI, that even now it's soaring in popularity, but businesses are struggling to figure out, what do I do with it? How much is it hallucination? So this gives you, I really like this link here that you can learn from. And then here is basically even a short little video clip. Don't worry about they're trying to do a little commercialization of it with generative AI. They're basically, this is a marketing manager of what is it based and what is generative AI. And we talk about generative AI as the idea of large language models. We also have small language models, but that data generation and what we call digital twins. So this is a little video you can use. And why is artificial intelligence important? That we can think about it. It automates repetitive learning, discovery through data. It adds intelligence, just like I told you, Gabriella. It's going to add intelligence, say, hey, it's all zeros, Dr. Rush, because you didn't connect to the data feed. and then adapts through what? You remember how we were talking about learning algorithms? That algorithm, we've just set, when we did our SMA crossover, it really was not learning. It was just stating this, and what we wanted it to do was learn and adjust that algorithm to find what? Better, higher profits. So AI basically is, and then here it talks about incredible AI getting the most out of the data and your journey, and what else is important? And then where can it be used? Just like we're doing for our projects, where can it be used? In healthcare, retail, manufacturing, banking, finance, and how artificial intelligence work, the machine learning that's going to automate it. It's going to be insight into the data, neural networks. Basically, we give it inputs. If it makes mistakes, it's going to give, basically for each variable, it's going to give beta values, what variable is more important. It will do that. Basically trying the process of doing multiple passes on the data, trying more and more in the neural nets to get more intelligence. And the deeper learning then requires then more computing power. And it also is looking what? Improve training techniques to learn complex patterns in large amounts of data that's available. Additionally, several technologies enabling the support of AI. One is computer vision. Basically, that has been big, especially in autonomous vehicles that you have. It's basically pattern recognition. Now you can think about computer vision. Now even the chat GPTs, you put a picture in front of it. You basically, a lot of them, I can show some skin lesion. It can say, I'm not a doctor, but what? This may be basal cell carcinoma. This may be squamous carcinoma. And you can see a number of basically companies and industries are using it to process, analyze, and understand images. This is going to be the future, really. And if what I can do, think about radiology, I can give those slides. I know what is malignant. I know what is benign. I can train then in computer vision. I have something called NLP, natural language processing. What is that? And it's doing more and more better job. What is understanding and generating human language, speech, and allows humans to communicate with the computers. We're seeing that on a day-to-day basis. Graphical processing units for AI, we've talked about it, GPUs and NPUs, Internet of Things, advanced algorithms, and API. What's an API? Application Program Interface. So if I think about it, Logan, where do we use an API? Have we used an API in class? Every time I connect, I say I'm recording to the cloud. Do you remember that, Logan? And what else am I doing? I record to the cloud, and what else? I record somewhere else.
You record to the cloud, and sometimes you record to YouTube.
YouTube. And what is it? YouTube and Zoom. From Zoom, I'm recording to YouTube live, right? I don't have to go straight to YouTube. I'm recording. So what is that called, Logan? An API. Many times, popular programs will create APIs. Why? So other users or other developers can integrate with them. Why does Zoom like to do an API? Because then basically they can take advantage. If I want to do direct a live feed to Facebook or to Twitch or to YouTube, they've created APIs. So these APIs are portable packages of code that can work a number of different software packages together. So this is it. Next summary, they have deep learning. You don't have to read this. So I like this article that you can see the history, today's world, who uses, how it works, and the next steps, and that idea that it started. The other articles that I wanted you to look at is machine learning. You remember in that machine learning, that it's the same company. They do a really nice stuff. That's why I like them in SAS. They're to the point, and it's the same format. Machine learning, you need to know what it is and why it matters. That's what I always want to tell you, right, Danielle, in the class, right? Not only what it is, but why it's going to be mattered. Just to memorize terms is not enough for us. What is the evolution of machine learning? How did it work? It's self-driving cars, Google, a number of other ones, Tesla, Mobileye, the accession, online recommendations. What do I like? If I've ordered something from Amazon, it will tell me if this is the type of movie I like in Netflix. It will recommend based on my likes what I want to hear. It's the same thing in music. And basically, why is that good is knowing what customers are saying. Machine learning then has that linguistic. Fraud detection, a lot of these things is basically what is machine learning. It has patterns and it's trying to learn patterns. Patterns of fraud. People do frauds in a certain pattern that I can tell. So here it's difference between machine learning, artificial intelligence, all about machine learning algorithms, and this is key for us. There's 4 types of machine learning algorithms, and you need to know for the exam, you need to know all of them. One's called supervised. The other one is called semi-supervised. The third one is called unsupervised and reinforcement. Supervised is I as the human being. Supervised is throughout my machine learning. So let's take an example of NinjaTrader. When we were trying to figure out, we wanted to find a good trading strategy that would be profitable in a certain equity or a certain group of companies or in a certain industries. So that would be supervised. I would give it basically along the way, I would see how well it was doing when it made errors, when it didn't. You remember, like when we did the longs and the shorts, when it didn't do well in the shorts, I may then supervise it and say, let's get rid of the shorts for this type of algorithm that it's doing. Semi-supervised is you can see that I'm not doing all the supervision, and unsupervised is let it go. The problem with that, if it's a great model and a great machine learning, I let it go. It's just like the driving autonomous vehicles, right? Where in the beginning they have people in the car, right, to oversee, to stop it if it is. Otherwise, they're anticipating, hey, everybody will be in the back seat reading and looking at videos where the car will be moving. So this is machine learning that will be looking at it. And then they give real world applications of machine learning, what's required, and who's using it. And who's using it? The same ideas. Financial, healthcare is using it to assess patients' data in real time. So physicians can work along with the machine, public safety, retail. Okay. And the third one that I wanted you to look at is what is generative AI. So that what is generative AI? This article is basically talking about how does generative AI work? What are its models? This even is a little bit old, so it has older versions of those models since it changes, but you get the idea. What are the use cases? What are the benefits? What are the concerns? What is a transformer? What do I have to worry about? The deep fakes. And then we need to know about language models, large language models they have billions, trillions. It's hard even to think about it. Parameters that can write then text, images, right? You'll be able to do that in your groups. So this gives you the evolution. As I said before, I'm not going to ask you dates. You can have it for yourself to know a little bit history, but I'm not going to test you on history. On generative AI, the perspectives, the models, you need to know natural language processing. And here are just examples. You'll have more examples yourself. What are the use cases? What are the benefits for generative AI? You'll know about what are the limitations, which are issues. What are the challenges? What does it represent? And what are the concerns? There are quite a bit of concerns about it, of course. What are its challenges? What are examples? What are the use cases? And really, there isn't an industry that doesn't have use cases. What are the ethics and bias? It definitely does have bias. It has hallucinations, we know, but a lot of times when you query the Gen AI, you have to correct and say, hey, that's not right. It's almost, when it's good for generative AI is when you know something and then you see what mistakes it is. If you don't know, how do you detect it? Infringing on copyrights, the difference between generative AI versus regular AI. Here you have the idea of reinforcement, predictive AI, conversational AI. The history, as I said before, I'm not going to test you on, and the future and generative AI benefits. And here's kind of like the creative. So I like these three. You can think about it. These questions plus the cloud will be possibilities. You got it, Gabriella, that you kind of can think about it. And I'd like to basically feed that so those that want to start having a sense of it can do that. And of course, you can even ask those questions on generative AI even to help you, right? It'd be interesting. You can put those articles in Notebook LM, right? Google, and have it create a podcast for you, Gabriella, right? Like what we did before. And as you're walking, it can say, hey, what did they find out about those articles? So this is going to be important for you to see. So on the what's due, I'm going to extend the date and correct this artificial intelligence, but you have the assignment that I want you to do. And the assignment instructions this was for part 1, coming up with team formation and topic selection. We've done that already last time. The second part is the continuation of your part. So what I want to do, even though some of you have already created websites with different software, what we're going to be using is Wix.com, because I have an academic relationship that will have a code where you can upgrade to get their business plan, their business part. So what I want you to do is have one person in the group open up the browser and continue. And this is something that I want everybody to pay attention to. I just had the representative in my last class come in to give a presentation. And the company, it's interesting, the company changed their model that the representative wasn't even aware of. But basically, when you sign in, you can create a free website. They have an AI version that I'm allowing you to use the AI website builder tool. Use it, and then you can make corrections. Whatever they can't come up with their AI, it's not going to be good enough, but it will be at least grammatically correct, especially if English is not your mother tongue. It will be at least the beginning of it. And this is here, put this in your notes here, set up roles and permissions. They have changed this, that for the free version, they only allow for the owner that sets it up and one other collaborator to use the site. So what you may have to do in order to do that first assignment is one person set it up. You can play around with it, or even a number of you can even play around with it, decide what you want it to look and feel like, and then upgrade. When you upgrade to the version, you can upgrade and have up to 10 collaborators. And then you'll give each collaborator to be an owner, full administrator, that everybody in your group can do this. Now, if you only have 2 people to your group, you don't have to worry about that. You can play around with the free versions as long as you want, and then you can upgrade to the paid versions. Do you understand that, Andrews? So basically, they changed it. For yours, in terms, only one person can edit the site at a time, but you can then, basically what I want you to do is I want you to create, besides a homepage talking about what your mission is, what you're planning to do, is I want you to have a team page. And you can do this with their templates, or you can have them created of telling you that you want something on their team. You should have a picture of each of you from the team. You should give yourselves a role as, for instance, your CEO of your company, your CIO, your CFO, you're the chief marketing, you're the social media guru, whatever you are, and then try out their AI generated logos that they have, and then publish your site live and save it to your audit area that it's clickable, that we can look at it. I want you, at least as a group, come up with at least 3 apps that you're showing that you have expertise upon, but you can do more. Or you can have a couple of people in your group doing comparisons where you have 2 people working together on it. I don't care how you work on it, but I want each person to have ownership in some of these apps, that it's just not one person that knows this and the other 3 are going on for the role. So what you want to do when you upgrade is you want to get a domain name. This is the beauty of me using Wix, that we get a free domain name that we based on our codes. And then you'll basically paste the link as you go through this. So this part I would like you to do for Wednesday, that I want you to figure it out and at least have a draft that you say, hey, I'm pleased with this. Now, if I go back, right, that I have this, I go to announcement. So here, Daniel put in, I've posted the upgrade code for your Wix website in the PowerPoint and documents section of the Blackboard. The document shows how to upgrade, and the code is the description of the item. We will assess more details during class. Due to Wix making an unannounced change, you will need to upgrade your site in order to have more than one contributor. So in this case, if I go here, it basically, this is your discount code. And the discount code right here you can use for your project. So here also on use your coupon code, you'll see here, how do you upgrade? So one person needs to, and let me go to the Wix that it is important to see here. This changes all the time, but to upgrade, we're going to be using the business plan. So let me go to Wix. BTE210-J.com. I've already had Wix, so it automatically, let me just sign out to look like what you have. Let's see here. So log out, let me log out so I see exactly what you have. So on my site here, it says create a website without limits. You can build it. So at this point, you can get started for free, no credit card required. So you could even, if you wanted to, either work in Zoom together or any other way, one person getting started, or you could have a couple of people in your group trying it out and seeing, hey, I like this, I don't, but you can get started with it. And when you get started, you put in an email for it, but when you get started, they give you an option whether you want to do it manually or you want their AI bot to help you with it. I give you a choice. You can do either way. You can play around with it, and you may even want to record it to see, maybe you want to use this as creating AI. Some of you can do this, but you can see what it is. The part that I wanted you to see that was important was if you looked at pricing, find the right plan for you. You see, begin by creating your site, upgrade anytime. You can start free, but the only problem is in starting free, you only can ask for one other collaborator. This changed basically maybe even yesterday. So the representative wasn't aware. Before you were able to do 5 collaborators. Today, you're only being able to use 1 collaborator. Again, in my humble opinion, they made a mistake when they're trying to do academic partnerships and they want students to go out and get certified on Wix and work on group situations. This is very, what can I say, short-sighted. But nobody asked me, and they'll see, the marketplace will see whether I think they thought this way we can get people to pay for it. And my idea is if you trust the company and you really love it, then you'll pay for it. But you have to get them to get it for free. So you notice here, they even have light where they'll only have 2 commodities. So if we even paid $17, that is ridiculous because we only get 2 collaborators. The core, we get 5 collaborators. But let me just tell you, put in your notes here that we want to do recommended. We want to do business, so we get 10 collaborators. We get 100 gig of storage space. We get their marketing, their standard marketing suite, which give us SEO. And this is the key. What I like is we get a free domain name for a year. We get standard site analytics that we will go over in class so we can do analytics. They can accept payments. We won't go into this, but later on, if you wanted to pursue this and you know, people wanted to actually pay you, you could accept payments and have standard plans. But we will upgrade. So once you kind of play around and have like your free site of a couple of people in your group, having a couple of them or working together as a team via Zoom, then upgrade that site, which it'll ask you for business. And use the code. You remember I had that code there. Use this code. Put that in when you're going to make that and make sure that it says 0. If it gives you any amount that you have to pay, get out of it and document it, take a screenshot. And if there's a problem with this, we will get it resolved. But you should not, everybody hear me, not pay anything. So you hear that, Daniela? I don't want anybody paying. That's why we have an academic partnership, and that's why we have this code. So if you look at use your coupon code, right, you sign up and go to the upgrade and you'll use the business plan. And then what you'll do, this is key. Anders, this is key. Sign up as yearly. Do not sign up 3, 2 monthly as yearly. If you sign up with yearly with the code, it will be 0. So after clicking that yearly on the screen, you'll enter the payment method, you'll enter that promo code, and the total should be 0. If there's an ongoing sale, you'll need to remove the code. Instead of enter promo code, click remove for opt out of sale and then enter the promo code. Right now, it doesn't look like they have a promo. They have a promo. Sometimes they try to make deals and it won't work. So make sure that when you enter the promo code, your total becomes 0. You will then be asked for private registration and so forth. Any questions? Damien, in the chat, are there any questions?
Nope.
Okay. And do you have any questions, Damien? So this is what I want, and I'd like you to publish then your URL and at least have an overview. You need to meet with your groups, decide what you're going to be doing, play around with Wix. You can try playing around with it. What I say, even the number of you can try doing free sites or do it together as a group or do it 3 and 2 or 2 and 2, play around with it, decide what you want. And then one person in your group upgrade to the business plan. And then when you upgrade to the business plan, then you can think about, hey, what domain names do I want? Look at what domain names are allowed in Wix, right? That you can then search what domain names are allowed in Wix. And then we can go through SEO, and this can be just a wonderful, each week we'll have other things that we'll do. We'll connect to Zoom. So you could even have conversations with Zoom. They have what? In this case, Logan, they have an API, right? They have an API Wix with Zoom. I'll go over the Zoom part, but Zoom you will need, let me just stop sharing. In Zoom, you will need to have, since it's an API Wix to Zoom, you will need to have your own Zoom account. That means you cannot, for our project, use the university's Zoom. Why? Because you are not the owner, you are not the administrator of Zoom, the universities. You remember I wanted to use, Andres, I wanted to use AI Companion on Zoom. Do you remember that?
Yeah,
What was my problem?
only the host can use it.
No, it's basically the administrator. They gave it to the university free, Zoom. But guess what? The administrators have control of what we can have as features.
Oh, okay.
So they even, you know, when you go to settings and you look at AI companions under settings on the university, they basically, if we do that, they have basically blocked that for anyone.
Yeah,
So
okay.
I wanted to use it. Isn't that valuable, right? For my recordings, right? It would have a summary of all my recordings of all my classes. Wouldn't that be great? Why would you have to summarize it? Why would you have to go through another hour and 15 minutes looking for something? Let it summarize it. Let it tag it. The university was afraid of it. Came out, in my opinion, of other people maybe misusing it. we don't trust their summarization, some things like that. I would say if I'm willing to do that, and I gave you, Andres, you were my teaching assistant, right? I'd say go review the summaries. If you find any problems, you could correct it, but it's better than you sitting there and writing the summary, right? You agree? Let it come up with it, and then Andres, you could have then made adjustments, or even have a number of people, my moderators, look, or even have the whole class. Did you see any problem with that summary? People could even then just edit it. But they were, but what happened is the administration has the authority. So when we're doing Wix with a Zoom API that we can have a conference, we need to use our own. So what we need to do is Zoom has a free version. Someone in your group has to get Zoom as their own, their free version, and then use that connection. Do you understand? Because they'll come back up and say, hey, we're not administrators of that version of Zoom, which we're not. I want to use it. So what did the university say? Since you're teaching that, you do research in AI, we'll give you an opportunity to have it. So we'll put you on a separate server. And my contention was, I have enough problems getting into Zoom. You remember, sometimes I get out and things. I don't need to be on a separate server where the university is controlling that separate server. It's bad enough Zoom is having it. I don't need another interlude. So I just said to them, thank you, but it's not worth it. That's why, remember, Andres, I was asking you to look at Otter and other ones for summarizations. But that's going to be the key that we will do. So I'd like you for Wednesday, I'm going to delay the chapter 14 Wiley part. So I can get that fixed. Thank you, Gabriela, for letting us know that. And then we will continue on Wednesday. I'll go into more depth of AI and everyone will then each group will present kind of their rough drafts. Trying to get familiar with it and see what it is, and then make assignments of who's going to be responsible. We'll have a section using SEO where you can do like a LinkedIn, or you want to do a Twitter account, you want to do any other social, you want to do an Instagram. You can decide which ones you want, and then you could have a number of people fill that in. You can, everybody should do your team page, what role you're going to play in your company, and then get into the apps of which apps are you going to discover. It's exciting and then this can be your own. You can publish that, and when you finish with the course, you can use that URL, your domain name, with your project, and then you can keep on updating it. Because of course, notice this area is going so quickly. There's new updates every time. In December there'll be new updates with OpenAI. A lot of things now are happening with Meta. They're trying to do. Anybody see the glasses? Anybody have the Meta glasses? Anyone? They're kind of doing a lot of things with even IoT wearables. Microsoft, OpenAI are kind of having issues, and it's just great. Any questions? Amelie, any questions that I need to cover? So all good. So I just wanted you to be aware of that. I'm going to also put some recordings from Wix. She's changing some things. She didn't realize it as well. Some slides I'll put up as well. We'll do that and we'll update it. Okay, so you can meet with your group. So I'm going to end class a little bit early so we can, I'll take attendance. I'll stay with you as long as you need me. And then we'll see every week we'll be adjusting. after the chapter 14, we'll just go over 2 more chapters. I think that's enough in terms of doing more chapters, and I want you to spend more time. You see that, Amelie, on the project rather than additional readings. But I think cloud computing is essential, right? The AI is essential, machine learning, generative AI, to understand that more in depth. And then we'll be talking about some enterprise resource planning. That's important as well. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to go to my attendance. I'm going to check in. I'm going to start check-in. We'll have a number. Stay with me, 6180. Meet with your groups. Try to get a first version of your website. If you get the first version, you can upgrade it to the business plan, or even if you have, you can even start with the free version if you correct with your group.
My attendance isn't working. Can you mark me?
Yeah,
Present, please?
once we finish, yeah. 6180. So let's see, what's your last name?
Campino, Campino. Isabel.
Oh, hold on, let me just see what's the problem. With P?
Campino.
C? With like cat?
Yeah, you just passed it.
Isabel? This one?
Yeah. No.
Which one?
It's towards the top. It's towards the top. No.
C like cat, spell your last name again.
Yeah, your cursor's on it. Isabel Campino.
Yeah, right, that's what I was trying. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Also, I forgot to turn in the last assignment. What TA do I
well,
email
what
for it?
happened with the last assignment? It was due a couple weeks ago.
No, it was like finished. I just never pressed the turn in button. Like I just did it now.
You can contact Daniel, you mean for grading?
Okay.
Yeah, let me
Yeah.
just contact, you have Daniel's email, right?
Yeah. No, wait, no, I don't. What's his email?
Go to the audit area in group 0.
Okay, thank you.
Okay? What's next? Anything?
Excuse me.
What
Yeah.
was today's code?
What was it? 6180? Damien, what was it? I think it's
I
6180.
believe so, yeah.
Can you do
6180.
mine too, please? Mine
What?
wasn't working. Mine wouldn't load.
Okay, what is it? What's
I'm
your
right there, Logan Casey. I'm 2 above your cursor. Yep. Thank you.
My pleasure. Okay, what else? Who else? We're having problems. Jose, you having problems?
No, I'm not having problems. I just had a question.
Okay. What's the question?
In the website, like I included like the services that like our consulting group is going
Right. Good.
do, but I was wondering if apart from the services, because like the services were like programs and workshops and things like that,
Right.
I should specify like specifically like the programs that we're gonna use, like for example, ChatGPT or
Right, right. You're gonna have to do that, and then you'll do like some videos on those, But you can start with what you're gonna do, and then do you have your team? Do you have a page? Jose, do you have a page on your team? Who's on your team? What is their pictures, and what are their
yeah,
you have that already?
yeah.
Okay, so the next part is like, what are you good examples of your services? So samples of your services, you can note that our services are going to be changing all the time, but here are samples. Here are examples like ChatGPT 4, or and show examples of how to use it, or the differences between. What was your area? What was the
We're doing marketing.
Okay, marketing. So put in marketing types of marketing software that's available, and then you'll go into a lot of the marketing software that's available.
Okay, so like on top of the services, we can like create another page on the
Yeah, create
website.
another page of apps
Okay.
that we'll be able to teach. We'll be able to show you how to use.
And should we go like into full detail or like the basics?
Well, you did the basic, but then go into full detail of doing the people in your group showing actual full detail of like examples.
In like
Short
like-
video, like short little video clips, how to
Okay.
do something in marketing or how to do, creating blogs with Gen AI or some of the other one or Jasper or some of the ones that you can use that are common for marketing.
Okay.
You
Okay.
know what I mean? And you'll go into more detail. You can do
Yeah.
like an overview, and then you can actually go like little scenarios. But make them short, right? Nobody wants to listen to 30 minutes, You can do short little videos, like examples of what we know.
Okay. And like the videos, should we include them for Wednesday or
What?
so
No, you don't need, it's hard. You can do as much as you can now. You know what I mean? Do at least the overview of what you're going to cover. If
okay.
you can do a short little video as an example, that'd be great.
Okay.
But at least to have something where you have a URL that's published that we can look at.
Yeah, okay, okay.
You
Sure.
understand that you have it the beginnings of where
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
going. And then we'll do every week, we'll do another version, then we'll do like a Zoom conference we can do other types of APIs later on. We're going to have another week, we're going to have a guy from Jose, first of all, congratulations. We'll have another guy from England. He's going to come in. He's going to give us another premium service where we can use his, what it's called, Fastbot, that he'll give us a way in which we can put it into our websites. Later on, once it's finished, we can use Google Notebook LM, and you can even, after your site is done, you can then have a podcast done. And then you can direct it, you can customize it, have it do one podcast, and it's not quite perfect, Jose, and then you can go back and you say, hey, emphasize more, our marketing apps or something like that, or emphasize more our team, who's on our team. You can decide.
Okay. Sure.
You got it, but I want to have like everybody to go in and at least have a first draft.
Yeah, okay, okay.
You understand? Follow that, and then we'll add SEO.
Yeah,
We'll
okay.
kind of put in analytics. That's where we're going to go for another week. We'll do SEO. Another week we'll do a conversational bot in there, or a chat bot that will include.
Okay, sure. Thanks.
So it
Thank
can
you
be
very much.
excellent. Thank you. I'm so glad that you're on the ball, Jose. So get the group going.
Okay, thanks.
Okay? But you're not the only one, that at least you can guide them.
Yeah. Have a nice day.
Perfect. Okay. Maria, how can I help you? Let me just stop sharing. Maria, did you get your attendance done properly?
Yeah, I get everything. I just have a question
Yeah,
about
good
the
job.
attendance. Like the day that I missed because of my tournament, that day is like the absence doesn't count like point.
Oh, hold on. Let me stop YouTube.